The following story is based on true events. In a small town where the asylum is the only place to work, people flock there, but what they find isn't always what they expect. Overtime ran rampant at the asylum, and the workers were always exhausted. The young girl had gone on shift at 3 p.m., and it was now 12:30 a.m. She was working yet another overtime shift. She was lucky enough to have found courage to come in at 3 a.m. She and her coworkers stepped into the locked courtyard to smoke a cigarette. As they spoke, she kept an eye on the unit through the double doors. She had a visual of each hallway through the windows and a clear view at the nurse's station. At the nurse's station sat the night nurse and another co-worker, a man that was always needed on the psych ward unit. As they spoke, she could see one of the patients pacing up and down the hallway, rapping to himself as he always did. She saw the night nurse tell him to go to bed, and he complied. As they were talking and enjoying their cigarettes, the girl looked into the woman's hallway and saw something contorted, crawling past the day room. She followed it with her eyes never leaving it. It passed the nurse's station, never drawing attention from the night nurse or the male co-worker, and she watched it as it turned the corner to go down the male's hallway. As it passed, the co-worker that the girl had been smoking with turned and looked at her, stating, "Did you see that?" She wasn't about to admit what she had seen, but she turned and looked at her, finally taking her eyes off the thing crawling down the long hallway. "What did you see?" Her co-worker responded, "It was crawling." They both looked at one another and threw their cigarettes down and unlocked the door and ran inside. This prompted the male co-workers on the unit facing theirs to think that there was something going on and they needed assistance, and they started to run over to the unit. The two girls turned the corner in just enough time to see the creature turn and run into a male patient's room. They started down the hallway, and just as they were nearing the room, the patient fell out of his room, yelling, "It's on me! It's on me! Get it off!" They searched the patient's room. Nothing was there. The patient continued yelling as they searched that something crawled on him. The girl's coverage showed up at 3 a.m. and she walked to her car. She was terrified. The things mothers do to feed their families. She left and prayed and cried the whole way home. The creature never resurfaced while she was working there, and it was never explained. She had always heard that it was haunted, especially because it was built on an Indian burial ground. However, that night, it was all the proof she needed to believe in the evil things that lay in wait there at the asylum.